I call the honourable member for Charlton.
Madam Speaker, I move the motion relating to the naval shipbuilding industry in the terms in which it appears on the notice paper.
Is this motion seconded?
Yes, I second.
The motion is seconded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the honourable member for Charlton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move this motion regarding the future of the naval shipbuilding industry because it is an industry that is vital to our national defence capability. It is an industry that is essential as a maritime nation. It's also an industry that employs between 4,000 and 5,000 workers directly in regions such as the Hunter Valley, Melbourne, Adelaide and in Western Australia and Sydney. It is an industry that we must have in this country if we're to retain our national sovereignty. 4,000 to 5,000 workers are employed in this industry. There are many communities that depend on it, including the Hunter Valley, where 900 workers at Four Jacks have their direct future at stake regarding the shipbuilding contracts. And the impact on local communities, Madam Speaker, if these contracts do not appear, is going to be quite massive. This is an industry, as I said, that is vital to our defence capability. Once it is lost, it will be very hard to rebuild. A recent ANOO report into the air warfare destroyer program commented on this, that some of the challenges that we are now facing in that program are a result of the shipbuilding industry being driven down after the completion of the Anzac frigate program in the early years of the last decade. This is an opportunity to learn from these lessons, to get it right and to really put the industry on a sustainable basis. We need to be careful of unfair international comparisons on this industry. Some people will be tempted to look at how overseas industries perform and talk about effective rates of assistance. What is never mentioned in this context is that the shipbuilding companies they're compared to overseas are usually government-owned and massively subsidised, and often benefit from very long production runs that we do not have the benefit of in this country. We have 40 major naval vessels that need to be built in the next 20 years, and I would submit that it is much better to have a smoother production cycle where the industry can plan, they can build their workforce, they can maintain their workforce so that they have a sustainable future rather than a stop-start process where at the moment 4,000 families are under threat. Madam Speaker, Labor took to the last election a solution, which was to bring forward 2 supply ships and guarantee a certain amount of work to be done in Australia. We also talked about possibly looking at the patrol boat replacement. There are other options, including building a 4th air warfare destroyer, or in fact bringing forward the new frigate replacement and building that on the AWD hull with simplified systems. And I was pleased to note the positive comments made 2 weeks ago by the Minister for Defence. This should be a bipartisan solution. I'm hopeful that those noises turn into concrete action because we need to work together. Too many manufacturing jobs have been lost in this country recently, especially in the last 3 months. We have a proud shipbuilding legacy in this country. The Anzac-class frigates were built on time and on budget. The mine hunters built by Thales up in Newcastle performed very well, and despite some early teething problems, even the Collins-class submarines present the best diesel capabilities in the world and have an excellent performance record. For example, in the US, they scrapped the first submarine built of a new class because of welding problems. So by comparison, the Collins class are performing very well. What we need is concrete action. I'm very pleased that we have 3 speakers from the other side talking on this motion, and hopefully they'll come to this issue with a constructive approach. Can I pay tribute to the vigorous campaigning being done by local Labor MPs, including the member for Gellibrand, the member for Newcastle and the member for Port Adelaide, all of who have shipyards in their electorate who are campaigning for local jobs. Madam Speaker, this is a vital industry. 900 families in the Hunter Valley depend on it, 4,000 to 5,000 families around the country as well. We need this defence capability. We are a maritime nation. We need to be able to build and maintain our great vessels here, otherwise our sovereignty will suffer. I look forward to the other contributions from people in this debate, and I assure everyone that if we don't get concrete action, this campaign will only get fiercer and fiercer because our national sovereignty depends on it. Thank you.
The question is that the motion be